Hey, what is going on? You are watching and listening to Tags Live, Talk About Gay Sex, the live show here on the Connections Zone on Get Vocal platform every single Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I am your host, Steve V, alongside Cody Maurice Doggett. How are you?
Hello, darling. I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I am doing really good. We've been away for a minute and I feel
I missed you
refreshed.
so bad. I miss your face and that lovely smile.
Well, first of all, how was your Christmas?
Christmas was amazing. I didn't get to spend it with the family like I usually do, but I did get to see my mother and my great aunts. Fortunately, it was just me, us, and my mom and myself and my great aunt at one time, and then the other great aunt at another time. So it was wonderful. It was really, really good. How about yourself?
Nice. It was good. Normally I would be where I'm from, California, Northern California, but I lived in LA too, and I would go back and forth every single year. But obviously this year I stayed put, and I have an 83-year-old mother, so it was good to just stay safe. But we talked a lot on the phone, and I spent it with a friend of mine here. You know what? It was my first time ever being in New York City in Christmas time.
Oh, really?
So it was kind of good. It was also good because I have a big birthday coming up and I'm trying to work out it. So I wasn't eating my mom's tamales, cookies, and it worked sort of in my favor as I have this monumental birthday coming up. So kind of worked out. I'm not mad at it.
Girl, the food, can I tell you I gained 10 pounds, okay? Just the food alone.
Well, we know you like to eat, so.
You know I love to eat various things. So
yes.
and food is among them.
Okay, I was thinking, ass I know.
As you know.
Yes, I know. Well, like I said, we are here every Wednesday night, part of the Connection Zone on the Get Vocal platform. Super happy. A little bit later in the show, we're really pleased to welcome Kevin Thomas, who knows so much about film, and he's going to be talking to us about web series, Oscar picks, things that you could be watching during this time frame to keep yourself busy, and he's a lot of fun, so stay tuned for that. Let's get into it. Yeah, this is going to be a fun show because we've been away for a minute, and if you're looking for something to do tomorrow on New Year's Eve, I have something. DJ Laurent is no stranger to TAGSPodcast, and he's an incredible DJ. I love his music. If you listen to TAGSPodcast, our theme song is a production original track of DJ Laurent on Royal Advisor Records. Well, tomorrow night, he is going to be streaming live for 2 hours from 9 to 11 Eastern time on Twitch. And I think Cody put it in our comments section, but I'm looking at it and I think it's twitch.tv/DJ Laurent. And it's a free event. You can, and you can check it out. I listened to the set. He's got a green screen going on. I listened to some of his picks that he's going to be playing, and they are groovy tracks. Again, it's DJ Laurent tomorrow night. If you are home and you want to like groove, Cody, you and I are going to be grooving along to it.
I was going to say I'll be listening with you, so I can't wait. I'm very, very, very excited.
Yeah, he's going to be spinning some great tracks, and it will be to like a green screen, so he'll have a lot of visual effects. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. 9 to 11 tomorrow Eastern time on twitch.tv/DJ Laurent. Check it out. It is free. We will be there. Going to be a lot of fun. I was thinking about things, and in this period that we've been off, Cody, it's funny because this year obviously has been nuts, as we all know. I considered myself very sexually active pre-pandemic, and
Okay.
haven't really been. I talked about this year. If we were to go through the year, I dated somebody in my building, so I had that ended. It's all good. I had one F buddy that we can talk about a little bit later that I would see now and then. But when you produce a show like this, and now at one point we were producing 3 shows a week, and sexually active. I talk a lot about sex. I research a lot about sex. I look into what's going on in the sexual world. For 2 weeks when we didn't do this, either one of our shows, I didn't do anything related to sex. I didn't watch porn. I didn't look up any story. And for me personally, it was refreshing. Now, I'm not saying I went to church and I was, at the choir. Yeah. But it was, I think when your work is based around sex, it's good to take even a break from that. I don't know. How do you feel about it in this time that we've sort of been away? And what's your thoughts?
I get what you're saying totally. I experienced some sexual burnout as far as porn was concerned, definitely. And it caused me to not really get aroused by even watching porn. It would take something like really, really special and specific to even get off. And it made me look deep inside myself, no pun intended, and like search and see what the reason was for the burnout and the disillusionment as far as porn is concerned. And I took a break.
Yeah.
I took a week-long break off of porn, and it's benefited me. I would say my porn libido is back, and
yeah, mine's back too.
100%. I'm back in fighting shape. I think I'm also missing that like touch, the skin on skin touch of actually being with somebody. So I'm sure you can relate, right?
Definitely missing that. But I'm somebody, I was telling you offline earlier, I'm a former editor, like literally edit video. And I think when you're an editor, you pivot easily, you adjust your life.
Okay.
And I've learned to adjust my life in a lot of different ways. And one of the ways I've adjusted is by learning to we did a whole show on dating yourself and learning to like love myself. But to your point, we have to give tips to the people in our buildings here. It's like a annual Christmas thing. And a couple of the doormen were wanting to thank me for the tip that I had given them. And we put them in these cards, and I write a little thank you note. And to the ones that I really think are hotties, I read, "You were a rock star this year." And one of them that is not one of the rock star hotties, but was coming up to me, and he was like coming towards me, and I was like freaking out, like, "Why are you coming towards me?" And he put his elbow out to thank me, like elbow thing. You know how people do that now?
Yeah. I do that all the time.
If anybody knows anything about me, I get startled really easily. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, like, why are you coming at me?" I was so freaked out. And I was like,
what did you think was going to happen?
I don't know. I was just like neurotic. And I was immediately like, "Oh, okay, yes, thank you." And I like, thank God for the mask, because I love the mask these days because it hides so much. I walk down the street. Nowadays, I walk down the street getting my steps in because I'm trying to lean up, and I'm in a music video singing every George Michael song I can, and no one can see me singing, and I love it. I can also be on the
full-on lip sync for your life.
Oh, I am
nobody knows.
I am lip syncing for my life and loving every minute of it, and not worrying.
Nice.
And you and I live in New York, where it gets cold, and inevitably, like, my nose is running normally. Well, now nobody sees that, so I always just look like it's just this, the eyes. And
can I tell you, I left my Manscaper nose trimmer
our
at
sponsor,
home.
yes.
Our sponsor. I left it at home while I was visiting my mother, and I started to, the maintenance wasn't going on in the nose hair, and I missed it so much. And I needed it so badly, but the mask covered everything up, and I was like, thank you, Manscaped, for keeping these nose hairs under control.
Thank you, Manscaped, for keeping Cody's nose hair in check, because I cannot handle that in a friend or a boyfriend. The minute I see that, it's a deal breaker. And I know that sounds horrible,
I agree with you.
but I'm a visual person. We produce shows, so I'm immediately like fixated on just that, and it's not good. So yeah. But I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be talking about sex. I'm hoping to have sex soon, more sex in 2021. On the note,
come on backseat. Okay, go ahead.
We're just going to keep rolling before our special guest comes out in a little bit. And there's some hot topics that I wanted to break down with you that were kind of a lot of fun. There's a story about what gay men wear to feel sexy. And I know I sent you the link, Cody, to Queerty put this out. And it's gay guys describe what they wear to feel confident and sexy. And it was part of a Reddit thread that they drew this from. And some of the dudes on there talked about wearing different things that you would expect. So one person is quoted as saying, I have a nice butt and legs. So one way I feel sexy for myself is to wear underwear like men's thongs.
While I wipe this drool away.
Jock straps and men's bikini underwear. Somebody else wrote, boots. There's always extra swing and swagger in my walk if I'm stepping on.
I did not even think of that. Like Wonder Woman boots.
And somebody wrote, I feel sexier the nakeder I am. I don't really. We'll get into what we feel. And somebody even wrote slim fit shirts. Bonus if they are the longer side, as shirts tend to be short at the bottom. Okay, we get it. I wanted to know, Cody, what do you feel sexy in? What makes you feel sexy? And has it changed in this pandemic, or is it? Just tell the people.
Yes. So I have always been a TNA guy. You know what? I started out as more of a T guy, basically. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. And you know where I got it from. A chorus line, yes. But I grew into be more of an ass guy, as you all know. So I wear things that accentuate my tits and my ass. So I love jeans that are on the tighter side. I love low cut tank tops and form-fitting shirts.
I'm surprised you're not wearing one tonight, because normally
I know
plunging neckline.
I don't know if this isn't really. I wore this because it's our New Year's show.
Black
and.
Oh, you like?
I know, but it's a little glittery, and I don't know if you can see that. You can't see that it's glittery. You know what, darling?
Wardrobe department, you're fired.
They are fired.
Fire.
I need something sequency.
Cody, stay on topic.
Yes. So I have been buying, it hasn't really changed during the pandemic, definitely. I have been buying jock straps non-stop, Steve. And who am I wearing them for? Nobody is the answer. I wear them for myself around the house, and my poor roommate, he has to see me my ass out all day.
Are you serious?
No, I'm not serious.
Oh my God. Wow.
But that would be fun, right? If I made him uncomfortable. He's straight, by the way. So
probably not fun for him. But yeah, I mean, I hear you. And the funny thing about this whole thing and this article that came out is there was a time pre-pandemic when I was incredibly into the leather scene, the fetish scene. I had parties about leather. I could open up, like yourself, a boutique on leather harnesses. And I was at Wednesday jockstrap party every week practically. And interestingly enough, in this, like I said earlier, I pivot, I edit, I change given what's going on. And right now, I couldn't be more covered up. Like those things, I don't even, they don't they don't work for me right now because they don't make sense right now to me. And I guess there is something to be said about feeling sexy for yourself at home. Being
Yes.
naked doesn't really, I don't know that just the naked body makes me feel sexy. I'm a little bit
Uh-huh.
too hyper aware of too much and what's going on. So I think what's making me feel sexy these days is being covered up, like wearing,
Really?
yeah. And I'm feeling like I'm working out,
I
like,
would not expect that from you. So,
yeah,
I mean, like,
I'm feeling confident because the article was confident and sexy. I'm feeling
yes.
confident and sexy these days being more covered up. So I'm also a product of reflective of what's going on. So right now I'm
I
wearing a
was going
lot
to
of,
say, look at you being adaptive.
well, yeah, not right now, but pretty much when I go out the door, I'm wearing army green or black. So it's all about like warrior or defense mode. I I think
Interesting.
there's something about army green and black that's just more like, okay, stay on track, and that's where
Mhm.
I'm at. But I feel sexy in it, and isn't that at the end of the day? What do you guys all think? Put in the comment section or read some comments if people are stating them, Cody.
Blake says that he is down to see the TNA, and I told him to go to my Instagram, which is Mr. Maurice,
Plenty of plunging
MISTAHMAURICE.
necklines on Cody's.
Jennifer says, "Hey boys, Cody loves his cute underwear, and I love Speedos. Underwear and Speedos are my thing. So they're all on my Instagram. Please go there, like, subscribe, and I'll make more content."
And you
Blake
should tell
says he
people where
likes
it's at Mr. Maurice.
Mr. Maurice, MISTAHMAURICE. And Blake says he likes free balling and basketball type shorts, which I love. Have you seen the gray sweatpants memes and everything that are out there?
Are you talking about SNL guy that wears or maybe his aren't gray, or his are gray?
You mean Pete Davidson?
Pete Davidson, is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I don't know him
allegedly really
specifically.
hung.
Yeah. That's what I heard about that too, just recently, actually. But I
Just,
mean, it's
girl,
all
you are
it's all
late.
I don't. I'm not featuring him. Like, he's not my speed normally, but I mean, I will look if he's in gray sweatpants.
If you're a
So
size
thank you.
queen, it all makes sense. So,
That's right.
but let's move on.
Okay,
So
darling.
time to move on. So recently I have been looking at a lot of YouTube videos, and we're going to talk about it a little bit later of who we're thirsting after. And
Okay.
there's all these guys that I'm working out to. They all have their YouTube channels, and they're so professionally done, Cody. They're like
Okay.
well produced videos. Well, on there, you know how, like, if you like one thing, maybe you like this, right? They
Mhm.
suggest somebody else.
Oh,
And
okay. Yeah.
one of my suggestions was this YouTube channel of Aston King, Aston.
Okay.
Interesting name, Aston
Can I
King.
ask you a question? What were you watching that this guy came up on your on your YouTube feed?
Straight guys that have workout channels that have like hit workouts, and this got slid into the mix somehow.
Okay, fully explain, and then we will discuss how. Okay,
So it
fully
got slid
explain.
in, and so I was looking at his channel, and so he's got videos: yoga for men for sleep, better sleep with Aston, stretch with me, yoga for men at home, and I looked at the videos, and in each of the videos, he's like in an Andrew Christian underwear. His dick is like protruding. And
Mhm.
he does give you actual stretches that are legitimate stretches that you could follow along with him. But
Uh-huh.
inevitably, in every single video, the camera is at his ass and his legs are stretched wide open, and or the front of his pants is protruding forward. And I loved one comment that I read in one of the things that ultimately said, we're all here for we're not here for what he's putting out there. And what he ultimately puts out there is check out my OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Which I think you're going to see the legs spread open, minus the Andrew Christian and a lot more going on. That's all I'm saying.
Can I just tell you that you sent me the link to his YouTube, and I looked at his YouTube, and one of the primary photos that are on the videos, it's the photo that is visible before you click on the video. It's just him bent over with his butt right in frame. It's crazy. I'm like, whose butthole is this right on YouTube before you even click into the video? It was insane to me. I didn't understand it. But
imagine like in every video, legs are spread wide open and the camera angle's like right there. And he's trying to be serious and then open your leg and stretch here. But it's like, to do what?
I'm not going to sleep after I watch this for sure.
It is one step away from an X-Tube video, and really should just be, it's interchangeable. Like, there's no difference, really. So I'm not mad at it because he's ultimately promoting his OnlyFans, where you ultimately are going to, I think, see the full-on deal. I have not gone on there yet. But
me either. I looked him up on LPSG, which is another site that tells you all the lowdown on what's on his OnlyFans. And they say it's good content. They didn't say what kind of good content it was. So,
it
remains to be seen.
There's another story that's out there of a friend of our show, the shirtless violinist. He's been on our show several times. He's classically trained. He plays the violin shirtless, got a great body, married to his sweetheart. It's Matthew Olszewski and Paul Castle. Matthew's the shirtless one. And he's made a brand out of producing these videos, playing the violin, doing really cool videos. But part of his branding is doing Instagram posts between him and his husband. And they just got taken down, and they had 100,000 Instagram followers. They also had 150,000 TikTok followers and 200 Facebook followers and more. And recently they were talking about it, and they're so distraught because this is part of their branding that keeps them active. And I know a little bit about this because our Instagram, when we had talk about gay sex, was shut down, and we had already 30,000 followers on it, and it got shut down. And it just makes me think, like, are we putting so much emphasis in these social media platforms where we don't sign a contract that they could be wiped beneath our feet at any given time? And if they're a part of your brand, maybe we should be rethinking this as we approach 2021. But I also know you had something to say about us gay men. And are we being targeted, Cody?
So when you initially told me about the story, it got my wheels turning as far as a lot of gay influencers, especially on Instagram, they're getting shadow banned. And basically that's when Instagram does not promote your content as much as the straight and cisgender influencers.
Counterparts, yeah,
exactly. And I actually looked up why that was, and Salty, an online newsletter and platform for women, trans, and gay non-binary people, released new research that looked at the ways that algorithms affect marginalized groups. And it said that the marginalized groups get shadow banned more. It basically confirmed what I was thinking, and it's flagged as for excessive nudity or sexual solicitation by queer people and women of color more than their straight cis counterparts. And I think that that's crazy. I think that should not be happening. I don't understand why that's going down. It's something that we should definitely address to Instagram. And also, I think somebody in the comments said something about TikTok. So, yeah.
There's a lot to unpack there, but one of the things is that when we put, we put a lot of our business models into these social media platforms, but maybe we should start rethinking some of these things, because I think there is something to be said. The one thing that comes to mind is when you're somebody like the shirtless violinist, or even our show, a podcast based on the conversation of sex positivity or gay sexuality. We aren't showing gay sex, but we're having the conversation. So some of our postings are obviously going to be provocative. We're actually doing good, and we're being sex positive, and we've helped so many people. We've had people write into us that have said, oh my gosh, because of your show, because where I live has really helped me here and there. And not to belabor that point, but I think there is a segment of social media that just immediately wants to put, you're demonize us, essentially. And we're going to be the first. It's probably algorithms, I would imagine, that are going to be the first to pull us down. Whether or not there's some truth to homophobia going on in there or not, it's not looking out for it. And maybe there's needs to be somebody in the gay arena business model that looks out for us for social media, like a newer platform that's not going to pull us down for what we're saying.
Well, Blake actually commented in the comment section that Patreon and Twitter are both good platforms for us to use as LGBTQ people.
They are, but we have a Patreon page. You can go to patreon.com/talk about gay sex. And they have their own. They have been under the microscope. In fact, I got flagged for a picture I posted on our Patreon. Really? Yeah, that may have violated their. So you even have to be really careful on Patreon for what services you are offering. I know this from my own experience. So, but I like them, and they are our platform, and we will continue to use them. But yeah, so interesting. Any other comments, Cody, that you want to read before we move on to our special guest?
Blake goes on to say, do an OnlyFans. And it doesn't necessarily have to be sexual content on OnlyFans, but it could be more homo-centric content that we post on there, and then it wouldn't get flagged.
Yeah.
Blake goes, but we wouldn't mind sexual content.
I mean, the thing is, I feel for the shirtless violinist and for some of these, because what's the term that you get labeled when you're pulled down from Instagram? We talked about this offline.
We talked about it earlier, and now I can't think of it.
God damn it!
Something. I know, right? Brain. No more drink for me.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you're removed from, and the thing is,
unauthorized. No, that's not what it's called.
Okay, stop talking, because we have like. The thing is, you're removed, and anyways. He's early, and let's bring in our special guest of the night.
Like 1 minute early. Gosh, I could just sit here.
It's okay.
You know, don't come too early to my party.
Well, I posted my minute early. I posted on Twitter. People, you need to follow that. Let it all hang out. Diego Barros. Oh my God, there's no one that will find another man more beautiful.
Hey, I gotta check him out. Thank you.
It's in Twitter, the spelling. And then Kyle Hynek. Oh, he walks around in shorts and sweats, and it's flopping around. Daily posts from both of these guys. Steve, new porn, just look them up.
Okay, not only are you too early for the party, you're taking over the show. So let me introduce you properly. Our special guest is Kevin Thomas, who is like my family member, my big brother, one of my best friends, and a lover, and knows so much about the film industry. We're going to talk about his YouTube channel coming up. He has some great recommendations. Kevin Thomas, welcome to Tags Live. How are you?
First, I'm sorry if I was early and misspoke. I apologize to all.
Darling, don't worry. You're our guest. Welcome, Kevin.
Thank you. I was just watching the show, ready to masturbate because you guys like talk all the sex stuff. Here's what's good about today's world. You can masturbate. You can masturbate from Twitter. And then you could go to like Pornhub and just do words like facial, gay, big dick facial. You get a lot of choices there.
Just don't do it on a Zoom call and get caught.
Already taking notes.
Already taking notes. And then screen mirroring. Oh, you could take your little phone and then put that on the TV. It's like watching a movie.
Oh, are we making a movie?
Well, okay, Kevin, we've got a lot
I don't
to
know
talk
if you
about.
want to make a movie with your TNA that you love. You can feel free.
Well, Kevin, we got a lot to cover with,
Okay.
and plus, we're going to play a fun game at the very end of this, which I'm really excited about who we're thirsting after these days. But to get things started, I think a lot of us have forgotten that the Oscars, the Academy Awards, is still going to happen, and we're all wondering what's nominated. And I know you are a film buff. You know so much about this. We're going to talk about your YouTube channel. But what's some films right now that we could be watching in this pandemic to get ahead of? First of all, is there going to be an Oscars?
Yes. So it's changed a little, of course. So the eligibility period now ends at the end of February instead of tomorrow. It's usually a year-to-year thing. And the Oscars will be on April 25th, the day after Barbra Streisand's birthday. So enjoy Barbara and then the Oscars. But not that there's really anything good about this stupid pandemic. And everybody put your mask on, stay healthy. But because we're watching movies I love that mask.
Kevin gave me this mask, which I love. So, yes.
Well, you're a Madonna girl. But,
yes.
I mean, a tiny silver lining is you could watch a lot of Oscar contenders at home. And because there's so many platforms, you don't need to spend that $20. You know how now spend $20 and rent a movie, which really isn't unreasonable. But because there's so many platforms, you could watch a lot of free ones, which is actually going to be my YouTube channel this week. So this is sort of a sneak preview. So if you want to, I could tell you some you could watch at home for free if you subscribe to those channels.
Okay, so what's some of the free picks that you want to tell us about that we could be watching that would be potentially nominated for an Oscar?
Right. Well, first of all, I don't talk about the common things that everybody should know, like Ma Rainey's Black Bottom and the trial.
I loved it.
7.
So good. It was so good.
But if you're a HBO person, this woman now needs our help to get nominated because she's just starting to win critics' prizes. It's never, rarely, sometimes, always. I always get that title mixed up. Those are the questions that I ask.
Repeat that one more time. Never,
rarely, sometimes, always. Those are the answers to questions you get. Like if you go to a doctor's office, do you feel this? Never, rarely, sometimes, always. But the young woman
in that order, right?
Yes. Sydney Flanagan, she is a very young new actress. She's already won a couple of awards for Best Actress. It's free if you have HBO. And to me, I ripped my heart out. It's about a young woman who's 16 and she gets pregnant and her father cares more about the dog than her. So she doesn't share with her family any stories. So she goes from Pennsylvania to New York to take care of it. So we have 48 hours with her with no money, trying to get things done without any adult help. I was biting my fingers, and it's really gotten great reviews. The audience doesn't like it as much as I do. On Rotten Tomatoes, it's a 99 with critics, which is almost perfect, but the audience only gives it a 20. But
okay.
Winning a lot
I'm going to check it out. All right. What else do you got?
Well, if you're an Amazon person, I didn't even know of this movie, even though I have Amazon Prime, until it started winning Best Actor awards. The Sound of Metal. It's about a guy who's in a metal band, and because you're hearing that sound all day, he starts to go deaf.
Oh my God, I watched it.
Wasn't he amazing?
And, oh my God, I can't believe
nominated. They're going to think of all these other actors, but
he was in an HBO show, Kevin, as well.
Yeah, and
the night of. The night of.
He won an Emmy for that. He was also Emmy nominated for Guest
Cody,
Girl.
this movie.
I gotta watch it, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Riz
I tried to
Ahmed is
recommend,
the name of
I
the
tried to
actor.
tell a friend of mine to watch it and he couldn't get into it. But Kevin, I loved it. And have a huge crush on him anyway. I think he's gorgeous. And
What's his name? Do you know his name?
Yeah, Riz Ahmed. Rizahmed. So he's winning a lot of critics' prizes and nominations, and so is the co-star Paul Raci. So that movie, I think,
such a good movie.
It's so good.
Okay.
Your friends here, they should know. Then if you're, and Steve, you're going to love this one too, because I know you like this movie.
Okay.
Now, I follow this site called Gold Derby, which kind of is the horse race of Oscars where critics and experts kind of start predicting the awards, but they start really early. So sometimes the ranking changes like a horse running down a track. Sometimes movies that get all this buzz end up flopping and not even getting nominated. Like last year, The Goldfinch was going to be up for Best Picture, Best Director. The writer won a Pulitzer Prize for the book. The movie came out and bombed, so then it left the list.
Wow.
But so this movie, the lead actress and support, I'm building up a drum roll. The lead actress and supporting actress were once the leaders on Gold Derby to win Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress.
Hey, keep it going, Kevin.
But people didn't really like it. So it's so the lead actress is off the list, but Glenn Close in Hillbilly Elegy.
Oh my God, I loved it, Kevin.
Yeah, but
You've seen everything, Steve. Wow.
Because of Kevin.
But really, this
Because Kevin and my sister, they told me about. Say the title one more time.
Hillbilly Elegy. It's a
Hillbilly
romantic film. It was like, oh, this is going to be all the Oscar buzz. Well, a lot of people didn't like it. Critics liked it less. So it's sort of falling off the ranking. But Glenn Close is still hanging on to 5th place in Gold Derby. But it could change. Gold Derby really isn't the answer. It's people's opinion. But Glenn.
And you know how I am about my Glenn.
Oh my!
I need.
Oh my gosh,
she needs to win one. Has she ever won an Oscar?
Get me started. Do not get me started.
And she has never won. But it's the perfect type of nomination. She wears makeup. She doesn't look like herself. She has an accent. She's a grandma with a heart of gold, but she's kind of a
Vivian Mead loved the film. Yes, I see.
Yes, Vivian Mead loved it. So those are the ones that are free, but don't have. They need a push.
I love it. And Kevin, send me a few more if you want, and we'll put it up on TAGSPodcast.com, your picks. We've got to move on, though. You are a part every single year in Palm Springs. You're a curator of the web segment of Cinema Diverse, which is a film Palm Springs Film Festival. You curate the web series every year. Obviously this year you weren't able to do that because of the pandemic and it was canceled. Hopefully you'll be back next year. But what's some web series, because so many web series get overlooked and there's some really great ones, and I think at this time we could all benefit from watching them as we're all home looking for new content and fresh content.
I'll tell you 3 quick ones. Well, as quick as until you tell me to shut up. But I actually did my best of on my YouTube channel. I made a playlist for Cinema Diverse because I love everything entertainment. But web series are harder to find. They could be 2 minutes long or 25. There's no time. But 3 that I picked, one of them I thought would be good for your audience, Daddy Hunt. Now, we all know Daddy Hunt is an app for bears and older men, younger men. This series
Cody, we might be looking for a daddy sometime soon.
I was going to say, that sounds like my life. Is it a movie based on my life? What's going on?
Simmer down.
Well, actually, the lead actor of Daddy Hunt lives in New York. And I interviewed him. He's such a sweetheart, Jim Newman. But the good thing about this is not only is it well-crafted, it's romantic, it's sexy. You could watch the entire first season in 15 minutes because each episode is like 2 minutes.
And what's the general premise of it?
Like Jim Newman plays a daddy and some younger guy moves into his building, sparks fly, texts happen, they meet on the roof, and then you'll have to watch it.
I've seen this one. Finally, I've seen something.
You have?
Yes, it's good. I really, really enjoyed it.
I'm watching it this weekend.
You could watch all 3 seasons in an hour. Another good one from another New Yorker, Don't Suck. You know what? It doesn't.
You mean like Sorry,
My
sorry,
son.
audio
Not my
audience.
son ever.
I was doing the sucking a cock on like with air quotes.
Oh, I like the way you would explain that to these intelligent.
No, because this gets repackaged.
But Don't Suck is from this really clever guy named Tyler Martin, where he goes kind of from like a Texas to New York, and it's kind of like the fish out of water. But he's so funny. He had great delivery. It's a really good show, very well watched. Don't Suck doesn't suck. But that's not the title.
Nice.
The title is just Don't Suck.
And for many of these, can we find on YouTube or where
Yes,
can we?
all completely on YouTube for free.
I will put these on TAGSPodcast.com as well.
Okay, good. My final one, because I see you have some women watching, and I love good content. You know, a lot of times gay men follow gay things, lesbians follow women things. I just follow good things. But Take One Thing Off. That's the name of the show. But when you're looking for it on YouTube, Scout.
Oh, you didn't mean.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Not you.
Okay, I thought it was an instruction.
Cody,
I take the direction, Kevin.
Yeah, no, Cody, you've been talking about liking dicks. Go ahead, Cody. Take one thing off.
Oh, easy. Get that plunging.
So anyway, look up Scout Durwood on YouTube. Follow her channel. She has a series called Take One Thing Off. It's sort of like a video album. Scout is funny. She could write. She could edit. She could sing. I'm in love with her, and yet I like dick. Because she is so funny.
Cody,
I love that motion.
Cody, I can't see if you can read any comments before we move on to our next topic with Kevin.
Lake, Mrs. Palm Springs,
Oh,
Atlanta.
yeah. You know what, Kevin? This brings up an interesting point. What's your favorite thing about Palm Springs?
I like Palm Springs that I'm a little older than most people, and that's kind of where they go. I like that everyone I have ever met there is super friendly. I don't even like the heat, but I'm an air-conditioned person. So as long as you got something blowing in my face, I made that a double entendre. I'm happy. And actually, the Cinema Diverse Film Festival, cinemadiverse.org, it's my favorite film festival because it's only like 3 or 4 days. Mostly they're 10 days, and then all of a sudden you're watching gays with hangnail movies. Like they run out of topics sometimes. This is sort of concise, to the point, and the whole city, everyone I've met there is so embracing and wonderful. And all those LA Hollywood people, they end up moving there. I've met so many people from LA that now live in Palm Springs.
Well, while we have you here, we want to play a fun game with you on who we're thirsting over. But before we do that, you can watch Kevin's YouTube channel where he goes over these every single week in great detail than he's even done here. You can go to youtube.com/ReelKev, ReelKev, Real Kev. You can also follow him at Real Kev on Twitter, and on Instagram, he's at Real Kevo.
Yeah, somebody stole the Real Kev on Twitter.
Damn it.
Instagram, and they've never even posted one thing. If anybody works for Instagram, I've been trying to get him to give it up.
Well, let's play a fun game because we love the movies. And, you know, I have really grown accustomed, and Kevin, you can attest to this, of TCM, the classic movie channel, in this pandemic. And my mom, we compare movie notes. And I realized that I've been thirsting over actors, but people online. And I wanted to play a game where we could do a couple rounds of who we're thirsting over. And I'll start the game off here. And okay. Kevin knows that we all love Alfred Hitchcock. I have behind me somewhere the whole collection, but one of his movies was a smaller film called Marnie. And it stars who, Kevin?
Tippi Hedren and Sean Connery.
Sean Connery, many of you would know, would go on to be the original, and you know I love a good OG, 007. And in this film of Marnie, he is everything to me. He's got the accent. He's got the chin line. He is so, like, I want to run away with him. He's European. He's masculine.
You need some alone time.
Oh,
what's going on over
I already had it with Marnie, and I was like in love. Sean Connery and Marnie, and actually, I would argue many of the OG 007s gets my pick as my thirsting after. Kevin, who are you thirsting after, or who have you thirsted after?
Well, I'm very thirsty. But when you said Sean Connery and Alfred Hitchcock, that reminded me, and she's one lucky bitch, Tippi Hedren in The Birds, Rod Taylor.
Oh,
He is so hot. She went all the way to Bodega Bay to get the ass, man, right? And he is so beautiful too. And he's in this cute movie with Jane Fonda called Sunday in New York, which people should look up. It's kind of a not really known film, but he is so sexy. I could drink a big glass of that. In fact, I gotta have a little water just to do the thirst right now.
I love him. I love him.
Cheers.
Well, I'll drink water.
Cody.
My bartender is not available at this time, but she is watching the show.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Cody,
we'll accept it.
Who are you thirsting after? Who have you thirsted after?
So when you asked me the question, the first thing that came to my mind was Rob Lowe, of course. But then when you said TCM, all that I could think of was Paul Newman back in the day and Cool Hand Luke.
In what?
And Cool Hand Luke.
Oh, look at you.
Wasn't he in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof too?
Yes.
Yes.
Those piercing blue eyes.
Ooh, yes.
Well,
all day.
His character was gay in Cat on Hot Tin Roof, but movies in the 50s didn't allow that to happen.
Really?
You gotta figure it out. Come on, he's not fucking Elizabeth Taylor. If you don't fuck Elizabeth Taylor, you're gay.
Yes, exactly. I would fuck Elizabeth Taylor. I mean,
and you're gay.
And I'm gay.
Right.
So there we go.
There it is.
That's a good one. Paul Newman. Yeah. I love it.
Right.
Okay, so I'm back. So one of my favorite things right now is I've never really been into actors so much, but recently I found myself having these crushes on all these YouTube sensations. So there's people like Fraser Wilson. I know you're not going to know these people, but you look them up. Rowan Rowe, Gabe Saturno. These are people I'm doing their workouts, and I have these crushes on these guys. And then my other thirsty crushes right now, because we're such a news junkie right now, keeping up with everything, is a lot of CNN journalists. So Boris Sanchez does it for me.
Who?
Boris?
Not Chris Cuomo?
Girl, take a seat. Chris Cuomo and his brother need to just like sit themselves. We get it. They're like so I don't like people that are hammy, and Chris Cuomo and his brother, our mayor or governor, are totally that. Sit yourself down. We get it. You had COVID, so did I. But Boris Sanchez, Jeremy Diamond, and I think I have a chance with one of them, Shimon Prokovich, because I stalked him a little bit. I have these crushes on, like they're like everything to me, and these are my crushes right now. I don't know, Kevin, who you thirsty?
So I could look them up. Well, besides the two Twitter people that I put out there in the acting world, okay, these are really modern, old school, but I'm a big bear. So if I'm in a tussle, you're going to be able to take me. I don't mind a shorter, thin guy, but I mean, The Rock. I could never hurt The Rock in bed, or Hugh Jackman, or Joe Manganiello.
You look at him and he hurts you.
I know. I watched something with him the other day. He has blue hair now. It's totally
Who does?
on him. Joe Manganiello.
Ooh,
we know.
I love it.
His body.
But that movie that he's in right now is crap.
Well, I'll watch it with the volume down.
Joe's movie right now that he put out where he's like a superhero, but like not the non-superhero. I wanted to watch it and like it. It's crap.
Oh my.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry, but but I love the blue hair. And okay, Cody, who do you got for us?
So we talk about him a lot. Michael B. Jordan is will always be my heart. He's so gorgeous.
Now. Yes.
You said it. That was what came to my mind. Henry Golding, he's in a movie called Monsoon that I really want to see. And Kumail Nanjiani. Do you know who that is?
Say that again. I just got wet.
Kumail Nanjiani. He's going to be in the new Eternals movie. He was a comedian before. He wasn't that fit before, but then for the Eternals movie, he got in such great shape. All my crushes are in action hero movies. So there's that. I wonder why that is, because I'm a total nerd. I think that's why.
I love it. And for our people chiming in, Blake, yes, you can always be a guest on our show. I think that's what you're asking. I can't really see very well. Vivian loves Boris. Yes, isn't he hot? Love. And Blake says, speaking of CNN, Shimon, oh my God. Oh, good. You love him too? I love Shimon Prokopets. Yes, I follow him right now, and I was actually thinking about going to Nashville to find Shimon since he was Oh my God! Okay, Blake. I haven't gone that far, but good for you. Report back. I want to hear it, man. I'm over here looking at all these names. Yes. Oh my God. All right, Kevin Thomas, we can, let's remind everybody how we can follow you. And when does your show come out every week on YouTube?
On Sundays. The funny thing is, when the pandemic started, I started my at-home film festival, #at-home film festival. But I first did 61 movie reviews, one a day. Oh my God, this thing will never end. So anyway, I do it weekly. I always have a theme for the week. I do it on Sunday. I try to do 7 movies. Sometimes I go over, like right now. But you could find me on YouTube, Real Kev. I'm Real Kev every place. I'm real in real life, but on social media, I'm REELKEV.
And we'll post everything and all links on TAGSPodcast.com tomorrow. Thank you so much, Kevin. As always, I'm going to check out some of these web series that you mentioned, and of course the movies you mentioned. So thank you so much for joining the show.
You're absolutely welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And I'm hoping I can come to Palm Springs in 2021 when your film festival is back up and running. I hope it is.
Me too. It'd be a go for 2021.
It'll a go for 2021. Yes. Thank you.
Thanks.
As always, Cody Maurice Doggett, thank you so much. So fun. And, people don't know a little bit about Cody, but in addition to this, he's a life coach. And where can people find out more information about you, Cody?
They can contact me on my alternative Instagram, KMD Coaching.
Say that again.
And just KMD Coaching, and they can contact me that way, and then we can discuss what their life goals are and rates and things of that nature. So thank you for putting that out there, Steve.
Absolutely,
it's always a pleasure.
Definitely. And if you want to just follow him for some thirsty pics, go to Mr. Maurice at Mr. Maurice. And as always, follow us at Tags Podcast because it's really important. We've got some brand new shows coming to you, Tags Podcast in 2021. I'm so excited for all the brand new content coming your way. Thank you for watching, and thank you. Continue wearing your mask. Wash your hands, but keep it sexy. We'll talk to you soon.